What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great weekend, depending on when you are watching and or listening to this newest episode of the Nerd Talk podcast. Thank you guys for joining in for today as we welcome in a brand new guest. So I will shift it to our guest, let them introduce themselves, and then we will get the ball rolling.
Already? Does that mean it's my turn?
Yes, it is.
Sweet. Okay, hi everybody. My name is Riley, or you can call me Riley.Rooh. I am essentially East Coast, but also a little bit Southern Coast, or not even coast. Oh yeah, coast. Southern Coast cosplayer. I travel back and forth from primarily North Carolina and Texas,
Okay.
and I do a lot of primarily pink cosplays. I will try and make any character I can think of pink. I still like to do some original canon characters, but if I could make them pink and there is a way to do it, I will.
Okay. Interesting. So, first question for you, just to get us going. How long have you been cosplaying, and then what got you into cosplaying?
So I actually have thought over this question a lot because I don't want to equate me cosplaying as like going to my first convention, because in
Okay.
actuality my first convention I went to was in 2018, but I've actually kind of been low-key cosplaying for as long as I can remember, my entire life.
Hmm.
I actually have a little um, tidbit. I'm not going to show like the entirety of them because it
Mm-hmm.
is involved in my personal family, but I
Right.
have a stack here of different
Oh.
calendars that my family does every year. I don't have them for every year because only the adults get the calendars on New Year's Eve. But
Okay.
our family does a annual dress up day every day the day after Thanksgiving. And during this dress up day, we would dress up in primarily Halloween costumes, but it could be literally cosplays from anything. We've had like race cars, Marvel, DC. We found like old vintage clothes, and we would just all, as a family,
Hmm.
dress up together and take pictures for the family calendars that we would get at the end of the year.
Oh,
So I got a pretty hefty
that's
stack
pretty
of
cool,
them.
actually. I don't
So
hear many like families doing something like that. That is actually interesting.
yeah, I didn't even like really think about it and correlate the two together because essentially you can cosplay any time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really consider it like a Halloween thing because we were doing it the day after Thanksgiving. So when I was thinking about it, I was like, wow, I've kind of been cosplaying since I was like 9, like 9 or 10.
Okay, interesting.
Professionally, though,
Okay.
I would say since like 2021. I think
Okay.
that was around the time I went to my first major convention, which was GalaxyCon Raleigh.
Okay. Um, what was that like for you? Obviously, you mentioned the family photos and everything. What was that like for you to transition from doing just something like that to becoming a more professional cosplayer?
I would say it kind of like felt natural a bit. It was a little scary. I will admit I did cry at that con, the first con that I went to. I was very overwhelmed. At the time, I didn't know I was autistic, so I was like very overstimulated,
Oh,
and it
okay.
just seemed like a lot all at once. And it's something I'd never really experienced outside of, like outside of family and having like that big group setting of just a lot of people you don't know. So it was really, and also in a city I didn't know too, because I had just moved to North Carolina. So it
Okay.
was very like scary at first, but I feel like once I started like not thinking too hard about it and just like getting out there and being myself, it became a lot more natural. And what is that phrase you can say, like it just felt like it just worked, like it just
Okay.
felt like it
Yeah.
just flowed naturally.
Okay, interesting. Uh, what? So when you decided to become a more professional cosplayer, when you attended um, your first, 2021, you attended a con as a professional cosplayer. What was your cosplay?
It was your Forger from Spy Family.
Okay, I
And
have
I
not seen
remember,
Spy and Family, but
yeah, oh, it's so good. I actually found the other day, I found a blanket at the thrift store that was a Spy Family blanket. And I was like, who would take this away? Who would donate
oh,
this? This is so good. But it's such a good anime.
okay, okay. So you mentioned GalaxyCon. What other cons have you been to, and then what are some ones that you really want to go to at some point?
Okay, I really want to go. Oh, okay, let me start with the ones I have been to. So I've been to Anime Matsuri in Houston, all the George R. Brown Convention Center for these ones, Collecticon and Comic Palooza, all in Houston. I've been to NYCC in New York, and then GalaxyCon Richmond in Virginia, NecoCon in Virginia, and basically almost every single con that North Carolina has primarily. Oh,
Okay,
and then one in South Carolina too. There was one in South Carolina. I forgot where though.
okay. What are some ones that you want to go to?
I definitely want to go to Anime NYC, and after hearing about how like crazy big it's gotten, I definitely want to go to DreamCon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wait, DreamCon that just happened, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. I've been seeing TikToks about DreamCon the past couple of days. Okay, interesting. I don't think I've heard of that particular one. Um, that sounds interesting though.
I believe
Uh,
it's recently new. I think it's
oh,
like
really?
only had two. Um, I think this was its second year. Was this
Oh,
year?
okay. Okay, here's a good question for you. What's your most memorable con experience?
Ooh. Okay, this is actually a little silly, but it was a small. So my first con I went to was a college con.
Mhm.
My partner's friend, my partner's friend's girlfriend, attended the college and was helping do guest control
Mhm.
and monitoring them. So I had volunteered for a position similar like that at NC State University's uh, anime club's first NC. It's like I forgot what it was called. Oh, NCSU mini con. It was a very tiny con at the university, but it was still like really good, even though it
Mhm.
was tiny. And I'll never forget this. I remember they had all of the vendors in one of the gymnasiums all set up, and it was really echoey in the space. And I had brought these like $8. I bought a giant $8 box of squishy ducks that made noise, that squeaked at the thrift store, and I bought it just so I could hand them out at the next con I went to, and that happened to be the next one. And the entire time after I would hand them out, you would just hear squeaks like everywhere. It was like a secret signal or like a secret call that we would just squeak everywhere back and forth. And it was just so funny and like so memorable for me. I was like, that's always been such a good core memory as far as like cons go. Was that one right there?
Okay, okay. What's your most uh what's your worst con experience?
I had a really bad time. I'm gonna be so honest. I had a really bad time at GalaxyCon 2024
Okay.
in North Carolina. That was pretty rough. There was, and then of course my first con, I cried about it. So I was
Ah,
really overwhelmed, and that was in like 2021 ish. And so probably those two will probably be
okay.
the worst. I think it was a lot of like a combination of just being overwhelmed and overstimulated and surrounding myself around the wrong people.
Mm, okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, so why pink when it comes to your cosplays? What is the story with that?
It's my favorite color,
Okay.
and also how it originated. I had seen, and all the props and all the credits go to these amazing cosplayers. I can't remember. I know they're. I follow them on Instagram, but I can't remember one of their users. But I will never forget this person's user, Deep Fried Disaster, on Instagram. They also have a little shout out, but they also have a art shop on their page. But their main cost page is Deep Fried Disaster. I had seen their full on, like, all over pink Denji from Chainsaw Man cosplay. Like, it was head to toe, the helmet, the blades on the chainsaw, the arms, everything was all pink. And once I saw that, I was like, I need to do something, like, right now. So I immediately jumped. I started putting things together. I started making props, and I did my first pink cosplay, which was Pink Power from Chainsaw Man.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. And so after that, it just the
It
pink.
just it just took off from there. I saw it and I was like, that's what I want to do. I feel like that's what, like, the direction I want to go with cosplay. I want to make everything pink.
Okay. What was the hardest cosplay to create up to this point?
For me right now, it's currently Bomb Devil from Chainsaw Man. I'm referencing Chainsaw Man a lot. It's currently Bomb Devil. I'm planning on, right now, I'm individually, like, one by one, rhinestoning the entire Dynamite skirt and her helmet. I got 3D printed from one of my cosplay friends here. Um, I know their name is CB. I just can't remember their username. I think it's CB underscore X3. They're in my follower list, or my following. But shout out to them for printing me the helmet because it came out amazing. It's just now I'm kind of dreading bedazzling it because I bought over, I want to say, 140,000 rhinestones,
Oh
and I
wow.
I don't even know if that's going to be enough to cover everything because it took, I want to say, over 40,000 rhinestones to bedazzle my Misa Amane scythe and also my power scythe. I use it for both, and it took over 40,000 rhinestones to bedazzle that. So
How,
definitely, definitely,
yeah.
definitely busy.
How long have you been planning this cosplay?
I've been planning it since I saw the movie in theaters,
Oh.
and it usually just kind of happens like that when I see a character, or like after I watch something, I want to, like, cosplay it and, like, make it
Uh,
peak. I guess it just depends on, like, what I'm watching at the time, because there
okay.
are some that I've seen now that I'm just like, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna make that pink eventually. But I usually try to cosplay things and make things pink from media or video games that I recognize. The only one that I haven't, like, watched or played and I've cosplayed is Ada Wong. I have not
Oh.
played any of. I'm calling myself out here. I have not played any of the Resident Evil games, and I feel like I broke a cardinal rule and I cosplayed them anyways because I feel like if you do that and someone comes up to you at a con and asks you about the character, like how you like the game, and I
Oh
can't answer because I don't know anything but her name.
my god. Interesting. Um, that's interesting. So one of the things I usually see like on TikTok and stuff like that, when you go, you go enjoy the event and everything like that. I'll see TikToks where it's like people are like, "Hey, so and so, how much money are you planning on spending?" And they're like, "Let's just say 100," and they spend more of that. Are you kind of like that person too? Do you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do okay,
I
okay.
have to I have to really be careful because sometimes I'll go and I won't even check my bank account afterwards.
Ah,
I'll have the money saved up, And
Mm.
however much I spend. Whatever's left, cool. But if there's the second it declines, nope, no more. Take it away.
Oh my god. Um, what's the most expensive thing you bought at a con?
Ooh. It was a. I would. Oh, did I ever? No, I don't think I ever bought. Because lightsabers are extremely expensive, but I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think I've ever bought a lightsaber for me yet. I would say the most expensive would probably be my custom Anya Forger figure. It
Mm.
was custom made. They create almost like these terranium figures, but they use anime characters and put them in the terranium. But it's some are globed and some aren't. I forgot the artist's name, but I have it
Okay.
somewhere. But they make
Interesting.
these really cool, like handmade personal figures, and I spent I think $160 on that figure, which was
Hmm.
probably the most expensive figure I have. Everything else, though, a lot of like my spending habits from cons accumulates from getting a lot of little stuff, like all the posters and the
Oh, I
stickers,
see.
stuff like that.
Okay. Nothing big, but it all you it's like these little small things that add up.
Hmm.
Okay, interesting. Um, how many cons do you go to a year? I know most cosplayers that I've talked to, they go to maybe like two, three, four a year, usually depending on what their schedule's like. But for you, how many cons do you typically go to?
Honestly, I go to a lot. I actually need to work on this and take a break because I usually go to about like maybe like one or two events a month.
Mm,
It
okay,
really just depends on the event because sometimes they're not like big cons; they're like mini cons
right.
and or like mini con sponsored events that they'll have before a con or after a con that you can go and like celebrate and hang out at. So I would say like pretty frequently. I want to say anywhere between like maybe 7 to 10. I think that's a good number.
A year?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Um, does your partner cosplay as well?
they do. They're kind of getting into it.
Okay.
They like creating OC characters, and that's where they're at right now um with their cosplay journey. I'm the very loud, exuberant golden retriever, and they're very like black cat, like super mysterious, super not extroverted, but also not introverted as well. Just kind of like in the middle. And then I'm the one that's always yapping.
Oh, okay. So they're fine if they're not around people, but they don't mind if they're around people. Something maybe not exactly like that, but I kind of get that. I kind of understand that. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, have y'all are y'all planning on doing any kind of couples cosplay or that is that y'all thing? You know?
I don't know. I did throw in the idea of doing Cosmo and Wanda because their favorite
Ooh.
color is green and mine's pink.
Uh,
And we also threw out the idea of definitely doing Green and Pink Ranger because I have my pink Power Ranger cosplay and I know a guy. Also, shout out drop Brian underscore Delante on Instagram. He made my Power Ranger helmet and it came out so clean. There is like no cracks, no breaks. Everything
wow.
looks perfect. So, and he is a super major Power Rangers fan, so he puts a lot of work into making it very screen accurate. So I definitely probably commission him again for another green helmet or a green helmet so he could do Green Ranger and then I can do Pink Ranger.
Okay. What cosplays are you most known for?
These are funny. So my first one, I would say my Mandalorian. Essentially, it's just the Mandalorian, but pink and in a maid outfit. I had gotten inspiration from that by asking one of my friends, Johnny. Johnny underscore 5 was name drop. I like supporting friends. I called him one day and was like, I want to do a maid cosplay because I haven't done one yet, but I also want to
Mhm.
do a Mandalorian. And he's like, why don't you just do a Mandalorian? And I was like, mind was blown. So that one I got a lot of good feedback on because it's a pink Mandalorian, and usually you don't see any like girly style Star Wars cosplays. Even with Princess Leia, I feel like her outfits and her costuming is very feminine but very sophisticated. So to see something so vibrant and like out there and very like kawaii cute, I think that one really like put me like that's what people know me for. And then of course Pink Pitbull. Yeah, you heard me right. Pink Pitbull, like the singer, not the dog.
Oh, okay.
That one always generates a crowd.
Okay. Okay. Have you I know most cosplayers, some may do, some may not, but have you entered like any kind of cosplay competition?
I have. I did. I usually like to enter like the after dark contests at GalaxyCon. Those are always fun. And it's just funny to do just because you have to be like sexy and like cute and like
Yeah.
just like showing off, but then at the same time you can be goofy with it. And then I've entered a couple of like smaller competitions, but most of the time I'm behind the table, not in front of it.
Okay. Okay. Uh do you go to like a lot of the con parties when you go to these conventions, or is that your thing?
I like the raves more.
Okay.
The room parties can get really crowded sometimes, so it's like a hit or miss with those. But I'm very much more of a rave person. I like getting in the pit. I like running around acting crazy. If I do Pitbull, I am always jumping in the middle, waving my bald head around all the time. It's so fun. And I have this like Pitbull banner I'll take. So usually I try to do my funniest characters on the nights that the raves are guaranteed going to be good. So like
Hmm.
Saturday night, I'll wear my funny cosplays to the raves specifically so I can crack out and be crazy.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. I had it in my head, but then I lost it. So, what's the most? So you've been cosplaying for a couple of years now. What's the most expensive cosplay that like as far as like getting material for that kind of stuff? Would you say you've done?
I would say probably my Pink Power Ranger cosplay, because the helmet commission plus the bow was
Hmm.
pretty expensive. Most of the cost went into creating the helmet and the bow, and then plus the outfit. I want to say it was a little over $300. So that's
Okay.
probably the most expensive one I've had. I am just now beginning to get into sewing and making my own cosplays. I'm primarily like a prop maker, and I usually buy like cosplays from like Doki Doki or Mick Costumes is one I go to a lot, or Amazon. But I
Hmm.
want to get into the crafty side of it, so I'm trying to move from prop making to actual cosplay making.
Okay. Interesting. Um, so you're a prop maker also.
Yes,
Okay.
I
Do
might.
do you do commissions as well, or is that
I did a couple of wig commissions, and
okay?
I primarily like to bedazzle things. So if the opportunity presented itself, I wouldn't mind it, but I wouldn't consider me like someone to commission because I get very distracted. I don't know if I could keep that up in like a concurrent amount of time and stay
That's
consistent with that.
that's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right. Well, guys, this is a little shorter episode, but we're gonna jump into talking about some of Riley's cosplays. Let me find one I want to kick us off with. Actually, I could just do. I think I know which one I want to start with. Where'd it go? This one isn't pink, but we could talk about this one.
I love silk. I was trying to find the perfect Marvel character to cosplay because I I've done Spider Gwenum and I liked Spider Gwenum, but and I like Gwen Stacy. I want to do a Gwen Stacy eventually, but
Okay.
I just felt like I liked the mysteriousness of Silk, and I just kind of liked her backstory when I read into it, so I wanted to do her. That's a little tidbit for that, but essentially it was trying to choose one that I know that I could do
Hmm.
and like make it a staple cosplay for myself.
Okay. All right. That is that one. Oh yeah, here it is.
That's my girl.
That's
She
the
is my
one.
favorite. But yeah, like I said, that one just literally spawned off of being silly and having my friend Johnny help me combine two things and just make it into one. But she's a lot more. She's actually not as bedazzled in this picture as she is now. I can
Mm.
grab her.
Okay. Yeah.
I have her a lot more bedazzled than I did in that picture. But she is
Oh,
very decked
okay.
out. And then
Yeah.
I added her tag right here, the Mandalorian. And then shameless promo, I added the QR code on the
There you
back.
go. How long did it
I
take
thought it
you
was a
to
lot easier.
how long did it take you to bedazzle all that?
Honestly, when I first started bedazzling things, I didn't keep track until I got back to this one, to the
Okay.
scythe. This one was this isn't the first scythe I bedazzled. This is actually the second one because I had the same size scythe before.
Hmm.
It was pretty big. I lost it when I moved, and I don't know. Like I misplaced it. I don't know if I
Oh
left it at a
no.
con. It wasn't in any of our cars. It wasn't like I asked friends who I stayed with if I left it at their house. Nobody knows where it is, and I don't know where I put it. So I had to make another one. So I actually tracked this one, but other like other than that, I didn't start really keeping track until this bad boy. I had to redo it again.
Okay. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, I love Fragrant. I had seen so one of my friends, Smee, she does a lot of cosplays based off of fan art or character art from different artists. And I had seen her, I think it was like her Goth Fragrant.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that too. So I like hunted everywhere for that specific dress online and I finally found it because everywhere it was like sold out and I finally found it. So that's the inspo behind that because I really wanted to go off and do different cosplays based off of people's artworks,
Okay.
and I kind of want to start also like doing that but making them because of course like most of the time when people do fan art like that, some of it is you're able to recreate or like thrift stuff and like kind of piece together what the outfit looks like. But if you want to be like artist accurate, you have to make it yourself. So I do like want to. I do plan on doing that sometime in the future.
Okay. Nice. Nice. All right. Let's see what we got with this one.
We still meet line. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. This is such a fun shoot. We all did it at a studio and we had all the evolutions together. And of course she's pink. I had to be
Yeah.
Sylvia. Like
Sure.
she's the pinkest, prettiest girl. And it was around the holidays too, so they had a really nice Christmas setup in the studio that we chose.
That's nice. It's good. Let me see. Oh, here we go.
So that's actually my partner's Spider-Man cosplay. I was doing I was promoting a wig, the red wig, and it actually was really good quality. I get a lot of my wigs from them now on their Amazon shop. But I was promoting the red wig. And I was like, what could I use this for cosplay wise? I was like, Mary Jane, that's it, that's the ticket. So I stole his Spider-Man cosplays for that one.
It looks good.
Thank
It
you.
looks great. Let's see. We also have. Ooh, I like this.
Oh my gosh. I love my pink ghost face. It is one of my favorite cosplays to do. So the mask and the knife actually weren't bedazzled by me. They are bedazzled by my friend Ashley. And there's her tag right there, Iced Out Gems Shop. She does such good bedazzling. This took her, I forgot how many gems it took. It had to have been over like 30,000 gems. It had to have been like in the 100,000s because she used a
Oh my
lot of gems.
goodness.
And it's so intricate. And like she also inspired me to start bedazzling things too, like seeing her work. So big shout out to her because it literally just brought this character to life. And she also did a pink ghost face as well. So I wanted to switch it up and do it a little different because I didn't want to seem like I was copying, but I did
Right.
take inspiration from her cosplay to do a pink ghost face.
Here's the pink Power Ranger that you mentioned.
Yes, she is my pride and joy. But yeah, definitely the most expensive cosplay. And yeah, the helmet is super clean. The paint hasn't even chipped at all. Like it's just super solid. It's so comfortable. Like it's not even like that like
Hmm.
aggravating because sometimes this one, like this helmet, it will like push my glasses like, up against my face because we got the measurements wrong. But that helmet just sits very nicely. I have room for my glasses. Um, I even have room. This is a little voice box on the side to speak through, so I have room for a
Oh.
mic in there as well.
How long? How long? How long did it take for the helmet to be made?
It honestly, I don't think it took that long. I want to say like a month and a half. It didn't take that long to do because we were preparing for a tinier convention. Shout out NC Comic Con. We were preparing for NC Comic Con in Durham, and we wanted to do a whole group with every single color for the Power Rangers. So
Okay.
I don't know if it was quicker based on that or if that was his regular like amount of like printing and sanding and painting time that he usually does when he does his work. But I mean, it was a pretty fast process.
Okay. Nice. All right.
Bunny Girl Senpai, she's a queen. I started watching this anime when I was in high school, I'm pretty sure, but I just never thought to cosplay it. So I cosplayed it for the first time at Fayetteville Comic Con, RIP, because it doesn't exist anymore. But that was
Oh.
the first time I cosplayed Bunny Girl, and I want to eventually do a pink version of her. It's just impossible to get a bunny suit my size because I have a very long torso.
Okay.
So I'd probably have to like sew one myself.
That wouldn't be too bad. I feel like I've seen. I haven't watched the anime, but I feel like I've seen maybe something of it before.
Right.
Uh,
She has a Christmas episode or like movie too that I want to do for around Christmas time.
oh, interesting. Let's see. Oh, this is cool. I like this.
Oh yeah, I met Hayden Christensen in my and it was the best time ever. My mom actually got me the ticket for that. That was like my early birthday present. And those were all my friends. There's Andrew, he's the regular Mandalorian, and then my friend Justin is Kylo, and then the ghost is my friend Keegan. And it was so much fun. That was one. I think that was Comic Palooza. That's one of my favorite cons to go to because I feel like there's a lot of emphasis on the Star Wars. They have a lot of cars too that they do, like the Itashas and a lot of display
Okay.
cars that they have shown out, and I really like those. And the convention center as a whole is super huge. I don't know if it's the biggest convention center ever because I haven't been to Anime Expo yet. Eventually I will. But it's pretty big. The last time I went to Collecticon, there was three other conventions happening in different halls at the con at the same time as Collecticon. So that was really fun to see.
It looks
The
like a really fun
twins.
time.
Yes, it was super fun. Oh yeah, they reposted my photo. I was
Oh,
very
there you
happy about
go.
that.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. What is this con? When does it take place?
Comic Palooza, I believe. Okay, so that was June 23rd. So yeah, I believe it's around like yeah mid to end of June.
Okay, nice.
I don't even know where that piece of lettuce came from. I forgot. Someone just had a random piece of lettuce. You can't have that now though with this epidemic going around and explosive diarrhea.
Oh yeah, that's very true. That's very true. All right, let me see for another one I like. Uh
I just did the same thing. You just
oh.
we both just wiggled our seat.
um. Oh, here we go. This the last one right here. Let's see what this.
Let's go. I think I had or that might have been my old one. That is my old one because these are more spaced out. That's my old scythe I had for
Oh,
PvP.
okay.
And I actually took my high school Death Note book that I got, or the Death Note, actually, like where it has all the pages and stuff mimicking the
Okay.
real Death Note. I got that in high school, and I just put very thin cricket paper over or circuit. I don't forget if it's cricket or circuit, but I put very thin sticky vinyl over it to give it that pink effect,
Hmm.
and I repainted the Death Note on it so I could make it pink. And a funny story about that, I'm such a nerdy kid. I actually like studied Japanese and like looked up how to write names in Japanese because there were some people that just made me so mad. So I wrote all my bullies down in my Death
Oh my
Note.
gosh.
So anytime I carry that, I'm like, look, I don't know whose names these are. I do not remember, but they bullied me. I wrote
Oh
them in
my
my Death
gosh.
Note.
This is crazy. Okay. All right. Guys, that is where we will end this week's episode of the Nerd Talk podcast. Thank you, Riley, for coming on. For guys, if you're watching on YouTube, and bring it back up, this is how you can follow and support. But if you're listening on YouTube, on Spotify, you want to let them know how they can follow you.
Yes, you can check me out at Riley.Rooh on Instagram or Riley.Rooh, ROOH, on TikTok. And if you happen to be in the North Carolina area, uh, y'all can check out my hair page at Riley.Rooh Styles. I'm an aspiring almost cosmetologist,
Ooh,
so I will be doing more hair, and I also might do some wig commissions as well. So that'll be in the near future.
nice, nice. And guys, obviously, you can check out things here on the channel, over on the gaming channel, Kick, Twitch, Rumble. Uh, Other than that, we're I don't think there's nothing big coming up. I think there's pretty much we're pretty chill right now for the next couple of weeks on the channels. But guys, obviously, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for coming along and listening. Really appreciate it. If you're new, be sure you hit the like and subscribe button, comment below, hit the follow. But other than that, guys, we will see you in the next video. Y'all have a great one.
Bye!